they start to use some materials that are similar like that. And this is the final product.
Based on the technology available at different dynasties, the Great Wall was usually built with local materials, mostly earth and stones. Natural terrain such as mountain ridges was often taken advantage of to form part of the wall. West Han Dynasty, for example, used sand and crushed stones filled with layers of reeds or tamarisk twigs to build the wall in grassland and desert areas that are subject to strong wind erosion. This map indicates that Qin Great Wall is only a few hundred kilometers away from Shanhaiguan. Emperor Qin sent out his military, pushed the Xiongnu away from south of Yellow River to the north, then used Yan and Zhao Kingdom to rebuild the Great Wall and connect the two kingdoms together. The Great Wall is not just a wall. Other defensive works such as forts, passes, and beacon towers were built along the wall to house soldiers, stone grains, or weapons, and transmit military information. As a product of the clashes between agriculture and the nomadic economics, the Great Wall provided protecting to the economic development and the cultural progress, safeguard the trading routes such as the Silk Road. Qin Emperor gathered 100,000 laborers to construct the Great Wall. It took years with civil and military force to build the wall. Many people spent their lifetime at the wall, and many myth stories happened at the wall as well. By then, almost one of very 5 people had joined the military, and one of every 10 people came to work on the Great Wall. After China was unified, Qin Shi Huang ordered the members of the former royal houses of the conquered state to move to Xianyang, the capital city of Qin, so they will be kept under the tight surveillance for rebellious activities. Qin Shi Huang also unified China economically by standardizing the Chinese units of measurement such as weights, measures, and currency. The length of axles of carts, so every cart could run smoothly in the routes of the new roads, and the legal system as well. To avoid a recurrence of the political chaos of the Warring States period, Qin Shi Huang and his Prime Minister Li Si completely abolished feudalism. They instead divided the empire into 36 commanderies. Power in the commanderies was in the hands of governors dismissed at will by the central government. Civilian and military powers were also separated to avoid too much power falling in the hand of a single civil servant. Thus, each commandery was run by a civilian governor, assisted by the military governor as well. Serving the Asian Silk Road that formed the artery of trade and cultural exchange between East and West, the Jiangyuguan Pass was a solemn and a splendid landmark. The construction of Jiangyuguan cost a great deal in terms of manpower and material resources. The work gave rise to a number of strange and sometimes beautiful stories, legends, that have come down to us over the centuries. On the ridge plain between the Qilin and the Mazong mountain ranges stands the western terminus of the 6,400 kilometers Great Wall. In about 2,200 years ago, one of Qin Emperor's major projects was connecting the fortifications along China's northern frontier into one more or less continuous wall. The wall as it existed then only extended as far west as eastern Gansu province.
Oh, this is the famous post. This is Jiayun Post. And back then, inside is a military station and the general living there. And then outside is a market for people, social around. But outside here, consider is outside of China. For only military can go out there.
The core city, or called the Tram City, is also known as the strongest fortress under heaven. Jiayuguan has been praised as an unconquerable fortification, or none can rival it. For all the praise accorded it, Jiayuguan in fact is a fortress of a limited magnitude. Its inner walls are only 640 meters in circumference, with an enclosed compound of a bare 25,000 square meters. It is not only smaller than Shanhaiguan, but inferior in size to Juyongguan, Zijingguan, Gubeikou, and even some of the minor strongholds along the Great Wall. In its overall layout, Jiayuguan performs the dual purpose of attack and defense, being a battle-worthy complex consisting of inner walls, middle walls, outer walls, and mounts, plus the Great Wall and a series of beacon towers connected to it.
This is the original Great Wall, made of mud back in Ming Dynasty. It's mud mixed with straw. It's hold it together strong enough, especially suitable for the weather here. It's so dry. Actually, it's not that tall because it's the inner wall facing to the city, and outside another layer of the Great Wall made of a brick.
As the main components of the fortress, the inner walls are 640 meters around, 156 meters long on the eastern side, 164 meters on the west, and 160 meters on both north and south, making the enclosed compound a trapezium. Built of compressed earth and mud bricks, the walls are 9 meters high. Their tops linked on the outer edge with parapets that are 1.7 meters high and perforated with observation apertures. The outer walls are surrounded by moats and about 2 meters in width and depth. The moats are flanked to the outside by an earthen dike about 1 meter high.
In case the enemy broke the outer city, get into the court, then they would design the court